Hello everybody, it's your pal Globonaut here. I haven't uploaded much on this channel recently apart from my gliding video from a few weeks ago. To be honest, I've just not really felt like making videos. The flat earth stuff, I've covered most of the things they talk about, but I thought, why not talk about other space stuff, right? Artemis 2, astronauts, as of today, recording, should arrive at the moon in around 20 hours or so. So that's pretty exciting. First time in probably a lot of our lifetimes that we'll see astronauts leave Earth orbit and actually go around the moon. The pictures have been incredible, and on your screen right now is a light recreation in Kerbal space program using a few mods as well, one of which being Principia. Now Principia is a mod that edits the way the physics works in the game to be more realistic. In default KSP, the planets are determined using this thing called patched conics, and essentially what that means is your ship is only affected by one gravitational body at a time, whereas in Principia all the planets and items interact with gravity, so you get more realistic experience, and it lets you do a few funky orbits like the one I'm going to show you today. Now to commemorate Artemis 2, I thought I'd do an Artemis 1 light recreation, mostly just to show off how these distant retrograde orbits work. I'm setting one up here, and you're going to see it all looks very strange if you're not used to it. And that's because I've got the reference frame as the moon, so the orbit looks square there. I was testing the orbit there with the maneuver node planner for this mod. My recommendation would be create your trajectories first you want to do, then do them one at a time, because you have to reset a lot. There's a button called rebase, and it just resets your trajectory because it needs to recalculate everything basically. So yeah, I'd recommend planning it all, seeing if it works, then executing it one step at a time so your maneuver nodes go off properly. Did a boost to the moon there, which you just missed. We just released the stage there, the booster stage, and we're gonna do a not quite circularization burn at the moon. It's gonna basically put us just outside of its sphere of influence, excuse me, and then it's gonna let the Earth affect the spacecraft as well, which you couldn't do in normal Kerbal Space Program. You can't really ride the boundaries like you can with this. And you'll see that I make some adjustments to make sure I get the exact trajectory that I want. And I do it in this reference frame because I basically go to each corner, if you will, of the square and just edit it until it's stable, and then you can just leave it and it'll run like this. You'll see later on in the video what it actually looks like from the Earth's reference frame, and it helps you understand a bit more why the orbits are so funky. But here I'm just editing it a bit more, shifting things around, making sure it all works. Basically I'm adjusting my prograde and retrograde and my normal and anti-normal vectors, because these are the two that I need to make sure this orbit follows the trajectory that I need. I'm on the right inclination, so I don't need to be adjusting that too much. You can see there I basically let Principia calculate that trajectory further into the future, and you can see I'm happy with it, so I make the burn. The purple line is basically the one that I'm on, and the blue dotted line is my planned move. You can see here we are, the reference frame from Earth's perspective, Earth's the flag in the middle, you've got the moon, and then on the purple line is the spacecraft. It gets accelerated by the moon, sort of undertakes it, then goes up, is slowed by Earth's gravity because it's outside the moon's sphere of influence, and then it gets accelerated back towards the moon as it gets closer, and from the moon's perspective that looks like a square orbit, and that's how it would track. Very interesting stuff, and you can see I've sort of let the simulation go into the future there, and it just stays stable. You can get out of this as well. Common knowledge is you just burn retrograde and go. Basically it's fairly straightforward to get back, because you're going so slowly at your highest point on this orbit, you can just do a bit of a burn and then you're basically home. So here we are, done that, just bringing it down inside the atmosphere, and then it'll be business as usual. You can see we've just jumped out of our distant retrograde orbit, heading back to the Earth, and that is at the Earth. It's not Kerbin because I've got the Kerbal scale real solar system on, so it scales the planets up a bit and makes them into the real solar system. And it's a bit trickier because you need bigger fuel requirements, but I feel like it's more realistic because the parts in Kerbal Space Program are very overpowered. And this is the, I think it's the Firefly mod for the re-entry heating effects, which is an awesome mod. And the parachutes will open, and that's it, pretty much. The Principia mod is fantastic. I highly recommend it to anyone who's playing Kerbal Space Program and they feel like they've mastered the base game. It's a big challenge. Give it a go. Cheers, guys.